Bill Wyman played bass with the Rolling Stones from 1962 to 1993. Despite spending most of those 30 years in the shade of his higher-profile bandmates, he's the only Rolling Stone to have had a hit single as a solo performer. He sits at number 10 on Maxim magazine's list of top 10 living sex legends, thanks to his reputation for having bedded over 1,000 women. But playing bass and seducing women aren't the only things that have been keeping him busy. In 2006, Bill got to showcase his lesser-known skill, photography, at the San Francisco Art Exchange.
It's quite exciting because I shot photos for about 40 years and I never published anything, so they're all like new. I've used a few in books, that's all. My book on the Rolling Stones. Rolling with the Stones, I used a few here and there, but generally nobody's seen anything.
The exhibition, called Wyman Shoots, marked his international debut as a photographer. It featured almost 100 original images. Most of them were in colour and many featured his past with the Rolling Stones.
I've got pictures of the band rehearsing at various places. There's quite some hilarious pictures because they're like loons sometimes. They go mad, stupid, especially Woody and Keith. So I've got some really nice ones of Charlie. Whenever you take a picture of Charlie, he's so photogenic that whatever he puts on looks great. He puts on wigs, funny hats, pulls funny faces and all that, and they turn out to be really good pictures.
Although he drew inspiration from several photographers, Bill claims to have developed his own individual style. Apart from his paparazzi shots, there are also plenty of nature photographs, including fisheye images and shots of rainbows.
They're all just shots that are not posed, not rehearsed, not worked out, not waiting till someone looks at you and smiles. So I like it like that. And I like that close focus so I can get that blurred images behind and also in front sometimes.
Among the works shown were snaps of the Rolling Stones, who in their early days were always impressed by Bill's endless supply of cigarettes.
There's quite a lot of celebrities, obviously the Stones and various other people I've shot side stage, like Elton and John Lee Hooker and B.B. King and people like that.
Bill was an outsider from the group right from the start. When he joined the Stones, he was married and older than the rest of the young party boys. Perhaps this is why he became such good friends with guitarist Mick Taylor, the only member besides Wyman who left the band voluntarily. They went on to work with each other on solo projects after Taylor had left the band. Wyman kept a relatively low profile compared to Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. He was considered the most level-headed of the band members, even though he had a relationship with a 13-year-old girl whom he later married and quickly divorced. It's often been suggested that it was this relationship with Mandy Smith that triggered his decision to leave the band. He was a moderate user of drugs and alcohol compared to the other band members, but later admitted that he'd used his addiction to women as a psychological crutch. The last Stones album he contributed to was Steel Wheels. When he left after 30 years, the band decided not to replace him with another frontline member and drafted in Darryl Jones to play bass behind the scenes.
I didn't really want to do it anymore. There came a time in my life when I wanted to do other things, really. And we're still great friends. I still see them and chat to them. But I just really don't want to do it anymore. I've done enough. It's 30 years.
Since leaving the Rolling Stones, Bill opened the Sticky Fingers Cafe in 1989, a rock and roll themed bistro serving American cuisine in London. He is an amateur archaeologist and avid cricket supporter, scoring a hat-trick at a celebrity match at the Oval against a former England 11. He also went on to set up the blues rock band The Rhythm Kings, who frequently perform live throughout Europe and America. But with his heady past well behind him and now in his 70s, Wyman's great love is taking pictures. Everything from gates and rail yards to landscapes.